Hello and welcome to another update video about AMC. I think I covered it on this channel before, but it's been a while, and I didn't even have to change the wave count. So I just looked at it again because I know there was a bit of a move today, bit of a squeeze there when I checked my previously communicated wave count, and I didn't have to change anything. So that's great. Just shifted the label for the wave 5 low in place of a larger third to the downside, and I see this current rally, this squeeze there at the moment, as a wave 4 corrective rally, and it could be something more bullish, but we are far away from proving that. Okay, so all we've done now, we've reached resistance, and I will zoom in and we'll take a look at that. Now, what's the chart history like? Looking at the 4-day chart, you see that this is a lifetime downtrend, nothing really bullish about this. And it would be too late for an entry now anyway, right? So for example, pullback traders, it might be wise to wait for an impulse to develop and then a pullback afterwards to check if it's forming a higher low. This is certainly not for anybody who's looking to jump on board in an uptrend in a pullback. This here is highly speculative. I mean, can I rule out that we break above resistance and that something more bullish is going on? No, but you know, I can only work with the data I've got at the moment. I can present you with the resistances, and I can tell you that above resistance, something more bullish is likely unfolding. But for now, this structure to the downside looks a bit incomplete, and it looks as if we might need one more low. Overall, bigger picture, I mean, a wave down into the 2020 lows. Here, that was around $10 at the time. Then we had this ridiculous, really ridiculous rally into 2021, which was clearly a 3-wave move. I mean, at the time, it was not possible. I mean, I didn't analyze it at the time, but it was not possible to call that an impulse because this was an A-wave rally, and then here a triangle, which can only be a B-wave really in this context then, and then one more high, and that was a C-wave, and it reached, I think, roughly the 100% extension. So perfect ABC structure, B-wave rally, and then the C wave down looks like an impulse. Actually, we had 5 waves down in wave 1, wave 2 rally, and then here a 3rd wave down, which now might have bottomed. Yeah, now might have bottomed. And you can see that the resistance, so the resistance for further downside continuation in an impulse for a wave 4 is typically between the 23.6 Fib level and the 50% Fib level. Ideal, you could say ideal resistance for a 4th wave is the 38.2 retracement. So if we talk about probabilities, I think it would generally be likely that it reaches to the 38.2 Fib at 1176. Now, that's not saying it will, because these corrective rallies sometimes, you know, they're not reliable. It's not like this is a target. This is just resistance. It's different to projections in an uptrend or so, or in the trend direction. This is a counter trend move, and therefore sometimes these are weak, you know, because it's counter trend. However, there's not only the Fib level at 1176, which is very relevant. It is also the previous structural resistance level from October and November 23. And therefore, there is additional resistance around that 1140 to 1170 level. And then we should still get one more low. And I don't know if it's going to do anything afterwards. Okay, so how could we, you know, how could they convince me that something more bullish is going on? So from an analysis point of view, this is only a 3-wave rally. So, and obviously such a wave 4 would be an ABC structure. There are various ways how this could unfold. So doing a micro count here doesn't make much sense because it's too early. This could literally just be an A, B, C, which looks as if it might just need one more 4-5 pattern. Like A, B, and then you see here this might be a small 1, 2, and then a 3rd now of the C, and another 4, 5. You know, these resistance levels are more reliable. And then the question is anyway, you know, this ABC, which might need one more high, could just be a larger A, then we get another B and a C, or maybe it's even forming a triangle pattern. There are quite a few options here, especially given that a wave 4 sometimes likes to be a triangle pattern. So we just don't have enough data, right? Typically, I start tracking a correction by simply looking at an ABC structure. So at the moment, I've got an A, I've got a B, and a C, which is probably not finished. Yeah. Looking at the very short term, because this looks impulsive, it might just be working on the 4 and get one more high in wave 5. Let me just adjust that. What's typically support? I mean, typically, because this C wave looks like an impulse, typically I use the 50% fib level of that length of the impulse. So that's a first level that if that is broken, it indicates that a top is already in. For me, against that overall resistance area, as long as we stay below that, the downside pressure remains high. $4.10. So if we, against 4.10, I think we can still push higher, at least once more, possibly to reach that 640 level or higher. Okay, and but yeah, it looks unfinished. Looks like it needs one more high, and then we could possibly get another BC. So that's sort of how I see this at the moment. And it really takes a 5-wave move above $19.15, which is far away, followed by a 3-wave pullback to confirm that we've got a substantial low in place. It's not possible earlier. It's not possible earlier. Even if we see a 5-wave rally, but if it's too small and we end sort of in the lower section of resistance, even if it's a clear 5-wave move, it could just be a 5-wave in wave A, because A waves can be 3-wave movements or 5-wave movements. But certainly, if we get a 5-wave move up, a proper 5-wave move, then at least it indicates that another leg up should be coming in wave C. But it's far too early for that. So maybe, depending on how popular this video is, if you're interested, let me know in the comments. We might keep an eye on AMC for the next few days to see what it's doing. So hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, feel free to check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.